Alright guys, welcome back. We are watching ReZero Season 4, Episode 5. Last time, well, we took the first test and we have entered the library. We met up with Shala, obviously, right? I gotta talk more about Shala. I think I have more things to say about her that I didn't cover in the last discussion, so hopefully I remembered to do that. We learned some about Raid, we learned, I don't know, we learned a lot about Flugel, kinda. Got a lot of questions and a lot of vague ideas as to what their answers could be, I suppose. For now, yeah, we're in this giant, endless library. How are we? What are we gonna do here? I don't know. We gotta read all of these books. That would be impossible. So I don't know. I guess we'll just get into it. So we are watching ReZero Season 4, Episode 5. You can line your own copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Ooh. it's well, it's it might have been you. It's very true though, right? Like clearly just an unfair test. Oh, really? That is actually a very interesting thing for her to say, huh? Right. Makes sense. She really is the most excited. Good question. Maybe they're like blank for everyone other than him or something. What are these books? They don't really have. Oh, yeah, okay. Interesting. I see. Like these books don't have covers really, they don't have names. Oh, they do. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Like names? Yeah. Maybe it's like all of the knowledge that like everyone who's ever lived has had, like literally, right? Because then it would have all the knowledge that exists, right? Oh, a name he recognizes? Oh, God. Okay. It's right. Okay. Sure. What was. Okay, okay. Blue flowers. Okay. Hmm. Y- Typhon, okay. Right. More info about her, huh? Oh, yeah. Right. Interesting. Oh, an executioner, huh? I see. But ooh, it's not something that can so easily be judged the way that she wants to, I think. Yeah, right, okay. Sure. Oh, the blood. Well, that's why it's about how you feel about yourself, right? Oh, oh no. Oh. Does she think even something like that can be forgiven, I wonder? You know? Because that's Yeah, interesting. But does she think that's enough, you know? Oh, considering the way. Oh, oh, look at that. Yeah, okay, okay, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah, huh? Right. So, like, most people think that they've done something bad, right? Oh, really? How did this happen? Right? Oh. Oh, even him. Of course, right? But where did this power come from? Ooh, I see. I see. And there were. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, what a crazy one to find first, huh? God. It's. Yes. It, like he was, like, transferred into it, you know? Like, fell inside the book, literally. Yeah. So he is the only one who can read them. Oh, so they can read the titles at least. Not like we can search this whole place, though. Well, a good way to put it, yeah. Right, yeah. Yeah, I guess she knows, yeah. Witch of Pride. How would you equate that to pride? True, true. A good way to put that, for sure. Sure. Yeah, yeah. Which, oh, that is, yeah, scary, right? Terrifying. Yeah, the whole situation we're in is kind of like that, isn't it? So don't say that. Oh God, not for her. Interesting. Oh, ooh. Which one did he find? Or I don't think it's that. Come on. Ooh. So can he read them as well then, just like Subaru? I wonder why. Interesting. Okay. Ooh, I see. Someone he respected in some way, perhaps? Ah, there's so many, though. There's so many. So, oh, God. Yeah, right? Ridiculous. What about, like, fake deaths, like Subaru and Al, you know? Or anyone else who could be like that. Right, right. But then, like, if this connects to Return by Death for some reason, then that's interesting. Hmm. Sure. How many do you know, Meili? Yeah, you were an assassin. So, Books of the Dead. Not again. Come on. Hmm. Melee is interesting. Please, actually. Come on. Subaru is the most taken person ever. Like, don't worry about it. Oh god, what to even ask about? Elsa? Yeah, right? So much. I don't know. Okay. God, how young was she then? Mama. Okay, okay. I wonder if she, like, attracted witch beasts as a child, and that's why she was abandoned or something? Yeah, yeah. Right, yeah, that would make sense. Hmm. Makes me think of, like, well, I don't know. Ooh. Want to know, like, what they thought about her and felt and all of that? I don't know. I wouldn't want to. Okay. It'd probably be hard to care, in a way. Yeah. People who don't really mean anything to her, you know? So we don't have time for that. Come on. Hmm. Okay. Ooh. I mean, good question, right? It has to be some kind of weird, magical. God, don't say that. And kill him to test it. Indeed. I love, like, the sound in here and stuff. You can tell how huge it is. Oh, man. I feel like there has to be some kind of ordering to it, but I don't know. I don't know. That's not knowing much at all, is it? Hmm. How would we ever tackle it? Yeah. I mean, it's, like, literally impossible, right? Okay, okay. What could the second test even be for? If the library's for the first one. Oh, I see. Right. That sounds just like Subaru, doesn't it? Melee and Shot. What is she? God. Why are Melee and Shale just, like, best friends? Like, what happened? Ooh, okay. Yeah, 400 years. Reminds me of Beatrice, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. Very good, very good. 4 or 5. Ooh. I see. Well, they're secrets, I guess. I see, I see. Okay. Oh, it's great. It's, oh, why? Just without telling her? So if we told her, hey, we're leaving, it'd be fine? I don't know. Oh, yeah, right. I mean, she's 400 years old. She's got to be a spirit or something, right? Something like that. Or not. Then what are you? True. Very true. I kind of just everyone here, right? Like, well, it's keeping a promise, right? It's yeah. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Man, Shala is really something. Okay, hit me. I see. Okay. Yeah, that's rough. How do we get out of here ever, then? Oh, okay. There we go. Alright. Fantastic. I guess that's why she had the weird reaction when Subaru said that last episode. How exciting. Yeah. Right. Sure. Okay. Hmm. Disrespect the library. Okay. She forgot. Oh, okay. Thank you. It's like these feel like rules that Subaru may have come up with to trap himself if he is Flugel, right? True. Yeah. So, why? What do you even mean by that? We don't need that either. Right? Yeah, we're fine. Don't worry about it. He doesn't need that either. Yeah, no. Hmm. Yeah, right? I guess. I guess. Maybe. Maybe true. I don't know. Whoa, come on. Sure. There we go. Perfect. That's her new position. Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What if it's in? Hmm. She would. Oh. Okay. That was easy. Yeah, huh? Ah. Okay. Yeah, it's just like unlocked somehow, I suppose. Cognitive interference. Hmm. Okay, sounds good. I have a hard time believing it's gonna be as easy as last time. Beatrice, calm down. It's fine. Come on. Oh god, I'm worried this is gonna be horrible. Whatever is awaiting us. We're just gonna die instantly. Like, oh god. Oh, it's so bright. Another just white, blank space. Yeah. Interesting. Blue outlines instead of red outlines this time on the characters. Yeah. Oh, a sword. Huh? Hmm. Let Julius do it. I bet he can do it. Come on. Oh, okay. Subaru can. Maybe that makes sense. Oh. Oh. Gain his sanction. Heavenly sword. Oh, yeah. Is this raid the one we learned a little bit about last time? Oh. Oh god, yeah. Shala's terrified, right? Oh. It's Julius, come on, right? This is his thing, I feel like, right? Hmm. Oh. He is not doing too good, huh? Like what? I mean, what is this, right? I mean, oh god, what? What is wrong with you? Oh, he's drunk, right. Oh, she I died. Right. Oh, and Julius picks it up. Yeah. Oh. Interesting. He doesn't even know what's going on, huh? Like my lackey, huh? And not a proper knight at all, huh? Not at all an ideal sword saint. Oh god. And some dipshit. Right. Hmm. Who would his lackey be, huh? I no, you didn't. You didn't explain it at all. Yeah, what? What do you mean by that exactly? Right. Yeah, she doesn't even know what that means. Oh. Of course, I suppose. No interest in titles. We step from this spot. Well, that feels like something that's so important to Julius, right? Is titles. Yeah, right? Oh. Nothing more than a stick swinger. Oh, that's the end. Man, okay. Well, good episode. Let's talk about it in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. Man, we have even more questions and even more, I don't know, just even more stuff in this episode, huh? Just so it's really reminded me of season 2 quite a bit, right? With just all of the I don't know, just all the information we're getting, all the questions that's popping up in my mind, all of that. Season 3 was so different compared to like season 1 or season 2, and now it's like I guess we're back, right? We're back to how it was before. Season 3 was just a different experience, wasn't it? Compared to we're back, right? I loved this whole scene with Typhon's backstory was so good. I really enjoyed this. This was really good. Um, it's interesting that it's even more stuff about Typhon, right? Because she is the one who was drowned in the trap of Fristella, right? That's how she finally met her end, I suppose. Um, this whole backstory gives me so many questions about witches and how they work and like what do we even mean, right? Like what is how did this happen, right? She just suddenly gained this power somehow, right? She just suddenly just has it. It's we haven't really seen anything like this before. For her, is it like an authority, right? Like the authority of pride, I suppose, is what gives her this ability, to judge others or have them judge themselves, I suppose, right? Um I guess, but then where did that come from? Why does she suddenly have it now? It's not a divine protection, right? Because you were born with those, right? She didn't have that before this moment. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Very strange. Very strange. It's like this whole backstory definitely gives us another good idea of why the witches are so feared, why they're so infamous, why they're so why there's this history surrounding them, this dark history and everything. Makes sense why they decided to trap Typhon and kill her, doesn't it? Right? Like, I, you can't just be walking around killing everyone who is a bad person in some way, right? Um, and I guess there's a couple ways I can imagine that idea of pride connecting to this, which I imagine back in season 2 we talked about all this, right? When we had the episode being introduced to all of the witches, right? I know we did because I remember we went through like every single sin and we talked about all of them in relation to the powers we saw. But something that really makes me think about is how, in a way, it's kind of prideful in and of itself to think of your sins and think of bad things that you've done as something that can only be judged by yourself in a way, right? Because remember, it's like the way Typhon's power worked, right? It was like if you are a good person measured by some standard, right? It was like there was like the pain aspect of it, and then there was like being shattered into pieces, right? And I don't remember. One of them was about whether or not you were good by some like standard that she had or something like that. And then one of them was like how you view yourself, right? I just remember there were two aspects to it, the pain and the body shattering. I don't remember which one was which. But either way, I just think you can certainly say it's prideful on both ends, both for Typhon to both think herself to be a judge of any of this in the first place, right? Um, that anyone could really, be a judge for themselves, for their own actions, and whether or not they are a good person, or for one individual to even think that they can judge all the actions of other people. Both of those ideas are like very prideful in my mind, right? Um, and like even the other way around too, like the way I'm thinking about it is it's like prideful if you think of your own actions as not being bad, right? Like it'd be very easy to imagine someone like I don't know, a serial killer or something who's crazy and doesn't think that they're a bad person at all, who has all these crazy excuses for their actions or whatever, right? And doesn't think they're bad in any way. That's pretty prideful to think that you can just you can decide all of your own actions are okay because you've decided that they are. And at the same time, I think Typhon being the judge, jury, and executioner um, for all of these people as well, that's pretty prideful in and of itself as well, isn't it? A very, very interesting, very interesting. It's a very interesting one. Obviously, the idea of pride, it's kind of been something that's been haunting us for so long because of the way it connects to Subaru as well. Um, Subaru and his whole, like when Petalgeese asking him if he was pride, how there's no Archbishop of Pride that we know of that exists today, right? And obviously Subaru shares a naming scheme like the other archbishops, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Obviously the way it connects to Subaru himself too, in terms of even this, like Subaru kind of takes it the other way, where it's like he thinks of himself as such a bad person and all of that, right? At least in the past, hard to say how much he's changed since the days back then, Um, and that in and of itself is kind of prideful too, isn't it? Like even though obviously like you think of pride as being something like, oh, I'm proud of myself, right? But in a way, I kind of think of it as pride as well to think that you can be a complete judge of your own character. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way in which you could imagine Subaru being prideful, right? Thinking of himself as the one back then who could be some kind of judge of his own character even, because I think what really matters is like the people around you and the way other people like perceive you and all of this. And I think that's what Typhon doesn't get. That's what Typhon doesn't understand, and that's kind of what her power like manifests as. Is all of these people, if they think of themselves as bad, or if she thinks of them as bad in some way, then yeah, they shatter to pieces, right? But do you really think all of these people deserve that? Like, no, not at all. Let alone the fact that the punishment is very much not befitting the crime, right? So anyway, we are in the giant, endless library of dead people. Uh, this is weird, right? I thought about it in the middle of the episode, that idea of all of this relating to return by death in some way. And then Meili brings it up about if Subaru died right now, what would happen? I don't know. Are there books for like Subaru and Al and anyone else who has some kind of weird like death power like that, Um, it depends how the library works. It depends how like Subaru and Al's powers work. I can imagine Subaru not having books and Al only having them, or I can imagine the other way around. Because my perception of Al's power, I get my idea behind it, is it can't be. I don't think it's like Return by Death. I don't think it is. He resets the entire world, or however you want to imagine Return by Death working, the same way that Subaru does. It seems like Al dies and something happens. he doesn't end up being dead, but I don't think it's on the same scale, and I don't think it's the same thing as Subaru. So it seems like Al's like deaths like still exist in a sense, maybe. So I could imagine Al having books, and then because of the way Subaru's power doesn't works, he doesn't have books. But I can also imagine it the other way around, or just both of them. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to come up or not. But I can't feel like it. I can't help but feel like it should. We have all these moments in this episode of Subaru and Amelia talking about how the person who did all this is a giant jerk. It's just Subaru. It's just Subaru. It's gotta be, right? If it's not just Subaru, it is someone who is basically Subaru. Like, I don't know. Something like that. Something like that. The other idea that I have about that, about who Flugel could be, is obviously just someone very close to Subaru. But I just don't know. It's someone else from Japan that Subaru like knows and like knew that Subaru would be here. All of that stuff somehow, right? But like, who would that be? Someone in his family, his dad, his mom. Like, I doubt that. I don't think so. It's not impossible, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. Oh, and what Shala says here is really interesting. You'd never say bad things about yourself. Um, this line just makes me think about so much stuff. It makes me think about what Satella said to Subaru in season 2 about like him, how it's like it feels like the point of all of this in a way is to make Subaru not hate himself, to not think bad things about himself. So Shala saying that Flugel would never say bad things about themselves. Well, that's so interesting, isn't it? I don't know what to make of that exactly, Like what does that mean? God. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, we've got all these books. They all represent the knowledge of, someone's entire life, I suppose. So in a way, if this has everyone who's ever lived and died in it, then yeah, it kind of has all the knowledge that exists, right? Although I suppose it only has everyone who's died, right? People who are alive today, their books aren't here yet, as far as we know. Unless there's books up at the top of the library right now still being written or something. Who knows? In which case, yeah, it basically has all the knowledge that could ever exist, right? It's just in an impossible way to access it all, right? You could never read all these books, let alone it would also drive you insane, right? The books work by literally pulling you into that person's like experiences, and it's like you experience it yourself, it seems, you know? So, oh God, I could imagine Subaru driving himself crazy in here if he, like, we're gonna hit some kind of brick wall at some point. This is not gonna all be easy going, for sure, right? And answers that we want absolutely are inside this library. This library represents infinite opportunity and infinite, it represents this ability to learn basically anything possible, right? So it just worries me that Subaru, with that idea at his disposal of infinite possibility in that sense, what would he do with it if he is faced with some kind of horrible circumstance, some horrible scenario where he knows the answer could exist here? It could be really bad. It could be really bad for him. Makes you think of Echidna and the deal she wanted to make with Subaru back then. Which, hey, was very much in the same vein, because that was also related to that idea of knowledge and everything, just like what the library itself like is. So I don't know, I don't know. Shala is like such a creature. So what is she? like she has some great moments in this episode, like when she skids on her knees towards Subaru and it makes like a tire screeching sound. Yeah, yeah. So I guess the way it works, okay, so you can only read the books of people that you knew, right? Or that you're acquainted with in some way, and that seems like how it is, right? Which is very interesting because Julius could read that one from the guy that he's fought before, right? Subaru could read Typhon's, it's all that stuff, right? So I guess everyone here can read books as long as they know the person who's died. And in that sense, it means if it's limited to that, if it's limited to people that you've known, um, and people who have to have died as well, then it's kind of not like infinite potential in a sense, is it? It kind of is very limited in a way. But if you only have to be acquainted with the person, or maybe you've even just heard of them in some way, then probably still a lot of books, right? Still a lot of potential there. Likely a variant of a cognitive interference spell. We bring that idea up several times, right? We bring it up again with the door with the stairs behind it to the next trial later. Noah Libertas, Aegon Voller. Haven't heard any of those names, right? For some reason that last name is familiar to me. I have absolutely no idea why though. Maybe I'm crazy. Hmm. Yeah, so there's a book for every person who's died, which is God, so how many would there be, I wonder? I mean, in the real world, what, there's like 140 billion people who've ever lived or something? That's like our estimate, right? Like, so this place would just be endless. How many people have lived and died in this world? I don't know. Can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. God, now I'm thinking though, if if Subaru, if there are books for Subaru, right? For every death he's ever had with Return by Death, right? Which is possible. I could also imagine it not being like that, and only being like that for Al, maybe, or both. I don't know. Um, what could he learn from those books? Because it's experiences he's already had, or should have already had, as long as he hasn't forgotten any of it, right? Like we talked about that before, about how in season one, episode one, when he first got to this world, it felt like Return by Death was activating, right? Like he had the weird memories and stuff. He had like those weird flashes and stuff of the end of his first loop, as far as we know, of him like holding Amelia's hand and like the moonlight and all of that. Um, so something weird happened at the very beginning. So what if there are like experiences that Subaru's had that he has forgotten? But that just brings me back. It's like I don't see how he could have already been Flugel in the past and have forgotten it in some way, right? Because when he got to this world in the first place, he had the tracksuit on, he had the stuff that he bought at the convenience store, all that. So that has to have been when he first got here, unless somehow, like that was his respawn point. Like imagine his respawn point with the Return by Death was first getting here to this world, right? Somehow he lived an entire crazy life where he became Flugel and went back in time and did insane shit without dying a single time. So his respawn point never changed ever. He died of old age at the very end, and then Return by Death activated for the first time. Somehow he didn't remember any of it and wiped his memories, and that is when he first got to this world from our perspective and from his perspective in season 1, episode 1. That is ridiculous, and that doesn't make any sense. But maybe, like, I don't know, right? Maybe. You never know. You never know, right? You never know. So yeah, he falls into the book. Typhon's backstory. I like all the colors in the backstory. The blue flowers, the red blood. It's like very much a very strong contrast between those two things. Kind of like what her idea, her very strong idea of objective good, objective evil, and it's like every person fits onto one of those sides of the scale, I suppose, right? Or the scale will always be tilted one way or the other, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. So her father is an executioner. Her world was split into two, black and white, good and evil. Yeah, just deeds and wicked acts. Right, right. Kind of it's such a childish way to view the world, isn't it? Such a, like, yeah, yeah, very. It makes sense. Makes sense. We got this weird chessboard that's like diagonal, right? That is interesting. Hmm. 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 Sinners must be dealt a punishment befitting their crimes, and yet her punishment for all sinners is their entire body crumbles and they die instantly, right? Which is interesting. It's almost like all sins just go on the same side of the scale, and that's it. And for most people, the bad things that they've done in their life weigh much more heavily on them than the good things that they've done, right? Like for Subaru especially, that's a good example. So for a lot of people, it's like if you're judging them based off their own personal interpretation of themselves, I think that's very hard for many people to think of themselves as just a good person. Like that's rough. That's a rough thing to do if you really like go to the heart of it about how you think of yourself. That's hard. It's not fair. It just isn't fair. It can't be. Ah, and that's a rough life, right? An executioner for your father. I guess I can understand it. There's no simple answer to good and evil. Sin and punishment were swayed by many factors. Yeah, I agree. And so she knocked this glass off and broke it. She's terrified because she thinks that's like, she's done something bad, and he forgives her, right? And that's kind of that's what leads her to this understanding. That's like what awakens this within her somehow, right? It's like this green fire. Green is a color that is normally, well, green is a color that's like associated with like envy, isn't it? Hmm. At that moment, the woman understood the skills that weighed a person's sin. It's almost like she's being like burned at a cross right now, right? It was God, what was her name? Is the Witch of Lust who was burned at a cross, right? The scales that weighed a person's sin lay in none other than the sinner's own heart. Yeah, yeah, which is I think that is a very prideful way to view it in a sense. So she starts asking everyone if they did something bad. She is on fire. Everyone starts crumbling. Hmm. Even her own father, right? She doesn't ask herself that question, right? She doesn't apply that to herself, which is interesting. I guess that's another very prideful element of it, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. And so the Witch of Pride continued to query sins, deliver punishment, and judge sinners. God, I love that. That is such a good scene. That backstory. That was really good. I hope we can get that for like every witch. That'd be very cool. But God, I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, some of the witches, there's a lot more to them than some of the other ones, right? Have a lot of questions about Satella, obviously, and Echidna, and kind of Minerva because of like the Amelia stuff, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I guess it feels like the one we know the least about is the Witch of Lust, given by the fact that I don't remember her name. Um, oh, what was her name? It's man, bad job by me, huh? Daphne, we know a decent amount about because of all the witch beast stuff, obviously. Sekhmet, I guess we don't really know anything about Sekhmet either, do we? Anyway, yeah, so we figured out how these books work. Beatrice can't read it either, of course. Would Echidna have a book here? Yes, right? Because Echidna's dead, right? Like, there's these weird, like, immortal versions of her in a sense that exist in a way, right? Like copies of her, but the real her, whatever you want to say the real her is like dead, right? Like in the tomb, right? So there should be an Echidna book here, right? There be a Satella book? I don't think so, because Satella isn't dead, right? Flugel, I mean, if there isn't a Flugel book here, that's interesting. Not that we can test that, though, because we can't look through every single book in the entire place. So, that's what I mean by you could drive yourself insane here in this library with infinite time on your hands, and that's kind of what Subaru has, you know? Oh, I'm worried. I am scared. I am scared about that in the future. Yeah, so he talks to Amelia about it. Yeah. She's basically the embodiment of cruelty without malice. That is a good way to put it, right? Cruelty without malice. Yeah. It's like she doesn't understand in a way why what she's doing is wrong. She has like this justification for it, you know? Yeah, yeah. Her life, her roots. That is an interesting word to use. Her roots, huh? Like what makes her who she is, you know? Yeah, yeah. Because that certainly wasn't her whole life, obviously, right? It was kind of just this short story, abridged version of what makes her who she is, you know? I don't know. I don't know. I like how we have this moment of like uh thinking back on the trial, having to face your past was so nice and easy. It was this, heartfelt, amazing moment. He got so much from it with his parents, and for Amelia, it was this horrible, torturous, like, yeah, what a piece of cake, right? Of course, God. And so Julius was also able to experience it with this, yeah, with this commander guy, right, that he's fought before. God, Subaru really gets like, he gets put on a leash by Amelia in this episode, huh? Boliroy Timoglyph. Sure, that's quite the name. A Wallachian general. We've heard of that place, right? What it's called, Wallachia, I guess, right? We've heard of that place before, right? I guess I don't remember all the times it's been mentioned. Isn't it the place where God, what was his name? The blue guy with all the arms that Garfield fought. What the hell was his name? How do I forget? I just watched that episode like a month ago. Like, how do I not remember? Wasn't that where he was from? I think so, right? I believe so. Um, interesting, interesting. But yeah, someone Julius has fought before. Of course, the books belong to people we know, and they allow you to relive their past. Yeah, yeah. God, so many books. I wonder how that works for Anastasia here, or I guess Aridna, right? Is who it is right now. Does she have does she have Anastasia's memories at all times, for example? Does she just experience everything she experiences and she has all of it, so she would be able to read the same books that she would, that both of them can read? I don't know. I don't know. And she's also a Echidna in a weird sense. So it's who knows? Who knows? We have a nice little moment with Maylee here. We talked to her. She's an assassin, or she was an assassin, so she'd probably have a lot that she could read, huh? Shala tries to throw another heart at Subaru, but it's a lost cause. I mean, Subaru is the most taken person ever, right? Like, it is not. It's not going to happen, Shala. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hmm. But we have a little talk. We have a little talk about her past in a way. She tells us about her parents, them abandoning her. Because of her like divine protection, I assume, her power with witch beasts and all of that, right? I bet it was rough trying to raise a child like that. Not that I really want to excuse them for abandoning her, but yeah, yeah. I was just following Mama's orders. She took me in. Who are we talking about? It's exactly. Hmm. Abandoned in the woods, raised by witch beasts. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. And she asks Saber asks her a question about whether or not she want to read her parents' books. I think her not wanting to read them makes sense because they kind of aren't people who matter to her in a way. And I kind of get that. I kind of understand that completely, right? Like they abandoned her and she's lived this whole life since then, right? So do they mean something to her? Probably. It's kind of hard to believe that they would mean nothing at all, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it'd be rough. I don't know if I would want to. I don't know if I would want to read them, you know? I don't really think so, you know? It'd probably hurt, if anything, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And then she asked Subaru. So we kind of theorize over like how this place works, right? If Subaru died right now, how would the book get added here? I don't know, right? Like, hmm, something magical about it, of course. It's gonna be hard to it's gonna be impossible to test, really, right? Unless, I mean, in one of Subaru's like loops or something, right? See, everyone dies and he gets to see if their books show up. It's maybe, right? Who knows? Who knows? What I would want to do, I want to go all the way to the top and just see how big this place really is, you know? But I don't know. I don't know. We can't figure out how it's organized. I feel like it has to have some kind of order to it, right? Not organized by name or era, just random people, right? Because obviously Typhon died hundreds of years ago. And then there's like this commander guy that Julius fought that died not very long ago at all, that was also down here on the first floor. So I don't know. I don't know. What order could they possibly be organized in? I have no idea. I have no idea at all. Typhon, for Subaru, is someone of moderate importance, right? Someone who did leave some kind of impact on him and meant something to him. For Julius, that commander guy, seems like someone that sticks out in his mind. You know, he complimented him basically and said he defeated him by a very thin margin. You know, he seemed to think somewhat highly of him. So for both of them, it was someone who had some amount of impact on themselves. You know, is that how it's organized? Like judging by the people who were in the library at any given moment. But like I don't know, right? Because it's not like the most important people to you are all on the bottom, and it like lowers as you go up or something, right? I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. It's like what knowledge could possibly be in here that we could get that would even help us, you know? Like if we're here for all the knowledge in the world, something that would be able to cure Rim and get Julius's like name back and get all of this stuff, right? How would we even do that? You know, we don't have like what? Oh, we just have no idea, right? Who would know anything about any of that to be able to have something written here that will be a solution to any of that, you know? I just I don't know. I don't know at all. Yeah, it's like an insurmountable problem, basically, right? It's just this feels like the real test in a way. It's like, what do you even do with this library, you know? Why is it here in the first place? Well, if all of this is set up by Subaru, if this is all some weird like bootstrap paradox, whatever situation, right? And this was all set up by Subaru as Flugel. You know, we go through these secret rules that Shala had, all the stuff about how you can't leave, you know, you can't destroy the tower, you can't do all this stuff, right? It feels like those are rules that Subaru created for himself to like trap himself here, right? For some purpose. There's something Subaru needs to do here, like for himself, I guess, right? Um, so the library definitely has a purpose in that way. It has to, right? Like for if we're in weird bootstrap paradox territory here, then everything I think has to have some very specific purpose and reason to exist here. You know, for a very very important purpose. You know, but what could it possibly be, right? What could Subaru possibly need to learn in this library? What information could he have? Why does it have to be presented the way it is presented, right? Like if Subaru as Flugel set all of this up for himself in the past, then why is it like this? Why is it this crazy library, this endless library where it seems impossible to actually get any of the knowledge you could possibly want? You know what I mean? Ah, too many questions. I don't know. I really don't know. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Amelia's thinking about how, you know, it's a jerk. Probably reminds her of Subaru, right? Come on. Amelie and Shala are just best friends, and I don't. It's why. Like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense. I love the noise when Shala like scoots up here. It's like it's just literally like tires screeching on pavement or something. Like God. So she doesn't know anything. She's been here for 400 years, which is something that I feel like I should have like talked about her in like the last episode. Makes you really think about Beatrice, right? Just 400 years of doing nothing, 400 years of horrible boredom. Like I feel like I would be insane. Anyone would be driven insane by that. Um, I'm just worried about that. I'm very much worried about that. Like how much of Shala's weird behavior right now is because she's a little bit crazy by having been here for 400 years. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. She seems so happy and stuff right now, but during those 400 years of sitting around, what was it? What was it like? What like oh god, I don't know. And then what's it going to mean when we have to leave? If we pass all the tests and we're leaving the watchtower, what's she going to do then, right? Like I don't know. I don't know. It's very interesting because it really does relate to Beatrice too in that way. Just the sitting around watching over a library, like literally, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious what will happen with Shala in the future because I feel like there's got to be more to her that we haven't seen yet. Of course, I doubt she's forever just going to be the happy-go-lucky gremlin that she is right now. So I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. And somehow Anastasia knows that there's got to be some secret rules to protect the tower. She figures everything out. I guess I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. But the rules from Subaru himself, assumedly, right? Of course, that Flugel gave her, that she has to obey no matter what. If they leave, she'll kill them all. Is right, right. They can't destroy the tower. Yeah, yeah. It's not really a contrast, so she's not a spirit. She kind of trash talks spirits a little bit, which is very funny. Because everyone here has a deep connection to a spirit. Spirit Knight, spirit, contract with a spirit, puck stuff, right? Just every single person here has some kind of deep connection to spirits, right? Like, other than melee, right? I guess, sure. As far as we know, I mean, like, you never know, right? And yeah, Amelia, put Subaru in his place. Make sure he understands that promises are important. Obviously. She gives throwing down of the rules. Yeah, you have to do the tests. Um, if you break any of the rules, you go into killing machine mode. Of course, my promise will be void. I'll start hurting people. So that's why, like in the last episode, when Subaru told her, don't hurt any of us, no matter what, she had like a weird like look, right? Because I think she can't really obey that. I suppose, right? Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Should not leave without completing the test. You should not violate the test rules, which is interesting. Like we're taking another test here with like Raid, whatever exactly we're supposed to do for him, earn his sanction or whatever. What are the rules to that? I mean, I don't know. It didn't really tell us any rules. It just said, you've taken the heavenly sword, earn this guy's sanction. So I don't know. I don't know. Don't disrespect the library. What do we mean by disrespect the library? Like, don't light it on fire or something, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Should not attempt to destroy the tower itself. Sure, sure. Like that last rule, that idea of not attempting to destroy the tower itself. The only reason that rule would exist, if this is all like rules that Subaru set up for himself in the past, is because horrible things are going to happen in here, right? That is the only, like, if we're going to be brought to the point where we would rather destroy the entire tower, terrible things are going to happen, right? Like horrible things are going to go down, and I am scared. I am worried about all of that, but I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I guess. As long as these rules ain't broken, my body is mine. Like, in terms of her not going into mindless killing machine mode, I guess. I suppose. And yeah, it's so much like the trials of the sanctuary, right? Which is interesting, because those were set up by Echidna, right? It's like all of this is kind of tied to the Witch of Envy in a way, because she's sealed here, right? But I don't know. I don't know really what to think about that, in a sense, Like, I guess what they're really linked to is, well, because Satella and Echidna, like, yes, they're both witches, but they also both, like, they have connections other than that, right? We know that they have some kind of connection other than that. Like, there's a connection here to, like, Subaru as well with this trial? And what if that is the connection that matters other than them just being witches? You know what I mean? Like, all the stuff that happened 400 years ago with, like, sealing Satella and all of that, you know? I don't know. I don't know. Tests that they almost made for themselves, right? It's like these are Subaru's tests, right? These are the ones that he's going through that feels like they were set up for him almost, if this was all set up by Flugel for himself. Whereas for Amelia, the stuff at the sanctuary was really like for her in a way, right? It very much felt like those were tests for her to go through. I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. Your heart's bigger and wider than the entire world. Like, what is wrong with her? But Melee has assumed her new position. So Amelia figured it out. Amelia's smart, I suppose. She got this down. More cognitive interference, I suppose. But up the dark, scary stairs. Oh god, super is like enthusiasm and all of this. How nice and happy we all are as we run up the stairs, right? It deeply terrifies me that what we're about to run into is going to be horrible, and we're just going to face some awful things, and I am scared. I'm scared of Raid. I'm scared of him. He is like the first Sword Saint and is apparently incredibly powerful. And it's like if he's anything like Reinhard, what the hell are we gonna do? Do we just have to fight him? I don't know. We're in another white area. Last time we had like red outlines around the characters. Now we have blue, which is interesting. It's like another thing that makes them like stand out in this very weird way, right? Like it's very they're very prominent too when it's like zoomed out like this. Yeah, yeah. Very interesting. So what is the tests in the sanctuary were, past, present, future, right? Here, what is like the connection here, right? Like we had this test with the stars and everything, right? Maybe these tests, rather than what I said about them being for Subaru specifically, maybe they would be for individual members of the party that's here right now, right? Um, like the previous one felt very much like for Subaru, right? Of course, he's the only one who would have been able to solve it, other than brute forcing it, right? Um, this one, it feels very related to Julius, right? In the last episode, we had that moment with Julius being told what Raid is like, his someone that he looked up to a lot, that idea of like knightliness and everything that he thinks so highly of, and how Raid doesn't live up to that, you know? This could be a test that is in some way very important and very meaningful for Julius himself. So maybe maybe there'll be another character here that will have some kind of meaningful test next time, for the next one. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, it would make sense. Like, yet again, if these tests are specifically crafted for individual members, well, if it was made by Flugel, who was Subaru, then he would know, right? Um, and then, like, what's the relation between the previous test and like this one? God, I don't know. The last one was just about stars, right? And now we just have this sword, and we have to do something, right? I assume fight Raid, right? I can't really think of any kind of direct connection there to really make? I don't know, but it's the sword, right? So is this Reinhard's sword, like the dragon sword, which I I don't know. I don't know, right? Maybe, I suppose. It's just like a copy of it or something. It's Subaru says the sword of selection. So is that not the same as Reinhardt's sword? I don't remember what Reinhardt's sword looked like exactly. I mean, he only pulled it out once, right? So I don't know. Subaru pulls it, and which is interesting. I really wanted Julius to do it, but I'm glad Julius is kind of taking the spotlight at the end here, huh? Fool who has reached the heavenly sword, gain his sanction. Fool who has reached the heavenly sword, gain his sanction. Says that over and over again. Raid shows up. Does indeed look a lot like Reinhard, the blue eyes, red hair, and yet he's kind of the opposite of Reinhard, isn't he? Right? Like in his behavior, the way he thinks about other people and all of that. He's the opposite of Reinhard. He's the opposite of Julius in a lot of ways, right? Um, It's like Raid, he specifically says this thing about how he doesn't care about titles, whereas titles for Julius are such an important thing, right? He introduces himself with his titles every time, you know, that means so much to him, you know. And those titles are something that's kind of lost now. Because of what happened with gluttony as well, which is interesting. What are my thoughts on that? Well, I don't think you should define yourself with a title exactly, right? I think that's impossible. I don't think you really can. You know, the same way that like Typhon was saying about how, you know, oh, it's, you know, sins aren't that simple and all of this and blah 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 blah, right? It's hard to judge them by some standard like that, even though, you know, she kind of ends up coming up with a standard for it. I think it's like that with titles too. How titles feel like they're something that apply to you and make people assume these things about you, something you have to live up to that no one ever really can exactly. And I think if Julius's goal is to be the ideal knight and is to live up to all of those ideas that those titles like have within them, um, I don't know if that's a good thing exactly, right? I don't know if that is how you should live your life really, right? I don't know. I don't know. What's important about being a knight, I guess, is what being a knight means to you, right? And I don't know, is Julius already there? Maybe, maybe. But with this horrible stuff with having lost, that's, you know, everyone not knowing who he is or anything anymore, um, his titles are kind of, you know, they feel like this thing he wants to hold on to so badly, you know. I just wonder how this test might interact with that, right? Charlotte's terrified, of course, like what she was saying about how scared she is of him in the last episode, right? And he's just drunk and hungover, and it's like he doesn't even know what's going on. Like, what is happening here, right? Like, what is he? Like, this isn't the real Raid, right? He's dead, assumedly, right? I don't know. I don't know. Julius picks up the sword, right? The fuck are you supposed to be, you prick? Like, I love the way he talks. That's great. That's great. And he keeps talking about his lackey, right? Stop talking like my lackey. Who would his lackey have been? We don't really know anything about this guy, do we? So I have no idea. I don't know who that could possibly be. Someone who talks like Julius, apparently, huh? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I like this. We go through we go through all the everyone here. He just thinks of all the women as babes, and then all, you know, the we got two shrimp, and then we got some dumbasses over here. Right, right. I was gotta get started. I guess he explained everything, huh? Got to gain his sanction. What does that mean exactly? I don't know. I assume we got to fight or something. But what are we gonna do? Because he's apparently like the strongest person ever. So we got to make him step from the spot. I guess that's all we have to do is push him really hard. Surely we can do that. Come on. I'm Julius Draculius, Knight of the Royal Guard in the Kingdom of Lagunica. I got a name worth giving. I'm nothing more than a stick swinger. I love the harsh red on the cover. I mean, on the title card here. You know, it's so ooh. I like the colors a lot. It's just the stick swinger, huh? It's very interesting. Very interesting. They have such opposing views on what it means to be in their position, right? The first sword saint versus the knight Julius. You know, I'm interested. I'm interested where we will go with that. I suppose. Yeah. Okay. I suppose that's about it. I I don't know. I feel like there's more stuff thematically I really want to talk about, but I just need to see where we're going. I feel like I just need to see where we're going more to really get a, you know, we're just starting the season still, right? We got a whole bunch more episodes to go. I don't really know what we're facing yet, or what I would say the purpose of all of this is, like for Subaru or for any of the characters yet. It's really hard for me to say because it feels like we've just started. It feels like we've just started, you know. Again, it's that idea of like regret almost that feels like really powerful to me in a way with all of this, but hmm, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Okay, I suppose that's it. So, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.